Alrighty, another day, another week. Beautiful day out here. It's looking pretty good. Look at that nice weather. Beautiful. Anyway, today I haven't got much time as usual, but I'm going to try and put these engines in pieces. I'm going to strip them both down, hopefully, see how far I get, and I'm going to try and get the heads off each engine for a start, and then I'll go from there. Alright, cool. Alrighty, that's what a 3.5 litre block looks like. Metal head gasket, that's cool. Bit of a mess. Oh well. Nice. Alright, on to this one. Now, normally for this engine here, you saw me, I just ripped it apart, whacked the pulleys off, whipped the heads off, she's all done. For this one here, I'm going to be a little bit more delicate, and it's a good hint that I've got is, if you're ever going to pull heads off or take the timing belt off, the best thing you got to do is time it first. Make sure that your timing marks are all lined up so the engine's in a nice sort of resting position. You can see these marks, it's actually, believe it or not, it's actually stopped pretty much on top dead centre. Anyway, firing number one. What I like to do before I undo any timing belt or anything is I'll put it on top dead centre and just back it off just a fraction, so that there's no piston at the top of the bore. A lot of V6s, some Subarus and that, what will happen is you'll take the cam belt off and one of the pulleys will be right on a springy lobe on the cam, and you just touch it and it'll fling away. It's always a good idea, I reckon, to have the engine just backed off top dead centre so there's no pistons right at the top of the bore. So if anything does happen, in the off chance, if there's valves and things getting pushed down or springing around the place, it's not going to touch the piston. So that's just a hint that I have. So as you can see, I've got the inlet off now. It's a big deep hole down there. But yeah, so I'll get this timing belt off and get these heads off, and we'll see what's in there. Initially I was told this wasn't even a MIVEC motor, but on closer inspection I've never ever seen one of these ones apart. I've got 4-cylinder ones around the place, but V6 ones. I suppose the telltale sign is there's a couple of wires coming out of the head, which is obviously for the MIVEC system. So I'll pull it apart and you can have a look in there. Cool. Alrighty, so I've just pulled one rocker box off, I suppose you'd call it. And we have a problem, Houston. Bottom half looks okay. It's a bit of a cruddy motor, I knew that when I bought it, but what I didn't know is we have good cams, and then we've got, for some reason, 2 dry cam lobes. I don't know why. Who knows? I might be able to get them built up and reground, or I think I know where there might be another cam. So hopefully I'll just be able to get another cam and we'll be all back to square one again. But it'll be all stripped down anyway and properly and cleaned, and so there we go. So that's the rocker box with our high cam and our low cam. From feeling it, you can actually feel the difference in the heights and the duration and everything. So one's off. Had to pull the rocker box off to get to the head studs. So I'll keep on going and we'll get this one off as well. Okay, so I made a huge mess, as I do. It will be cleaned up. Now I've just plonked those heads on there. They do physically fit like they're supposed to. Now because the block is slightly taller, this is the MIVEC inlet manifold. And as you can see, there's a difference because of the block height. The heads are spaced wider apart. So, and the other manifold is not going to fit either. So, it possibly could be drilled out. The studs don't line up. What I might do is I might take the studs out of the head and sit the manifold on there and see what happens, see what it looks like. And you never know, it might fit. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, I'm not too worried. We'll just be doing some chopping and some modifying. But that's cool, no worries. But I am very bummed out about this cam lobe. I don't know what would have done that. I just do not understand that at all. Possibly run dry at some stage. But we'll figure it out. All is not lost. Cool, another day in paradise. It's another day. I'm going to put this video with all the other ones in this little lot. And let's make that. And I'll just show you what I've got done progress wise. Not much, but it's something at least. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got the MIVEC motor heads, on the 3.5 block. They're sitting on there. Just it's all dirty and horrible, but they're on there. I just want to try mocking up some ideas. Now obviously the MIVEC bottom manifold is too narrow because of the higher 3.5 litre block. So what are my options? First of all, I can get hold of this, which is a 3.5 litre bottom lower manifold. Only problem is all the studs are different. They're in different places. The ports actually line up not too bad. They're a little bit out, but they're not too bad. The studs are in different places, all of them. So as you can see, what I've done here, I've drilled a hole here, opened these holes out, drilled a hole here, fitted it on just to one side, just to try it. Had only had one head on just to try it out. The thing does fit on, but I'm not going to use it, and the reason being is by the time I put this on here, and by the time I put the upper manifold on, what happens, it's hard to tell because everything's sitting up high on the studs, but what happens is there's not enough clearance between the bottom of the runners to the rocker cover. It hits the rocker cover. I'm not sure what other people have done, if they've done this or not, and they've come across the same problem, whether I've got something slightly different on this motor, I don't know. I did cut the bottom off the bits that were touching, but in the end the bit that was interfering was between the rocker cover and the bottom of the runner. The only solution I could come up with if I was going to run that manifold system would be to make a spacer in here. Probably have to be about 10 mil, I think, just to get it to come off the rocker cover. So in saying that, also then I've got to contend with trying to get spark plug wires and the light in there. I wanted to run coil on plug. That's never going to happen with this manifold. I could possibly run leads and coil near plug system, like an LS1 or something. It possibly could work. You could make it work, but I would have to get a spacer made up. I would have to do mucking around with the studs. I'd have to port the shit out of it to try and get everything to line up perfectly, and I honestly didn't think it was actually worth it. So this is what I've come up with. I'll get rid of that. So we'll say no to them. So back to this one. So what I've done is I've got the MIVEC lower, I've sliced it in half, and I've extracted the individual runners out of each side. This is what I come up with. So I've turned that into that. So this is how they fit. Alright, you can see what I'm trying to do here. So there, we've got some nice clean runners to start with. They obviously match perfectly because they're off the heads originally. They're just wider apart. Cool, so now, next thing. I'll stop it there and I'll put my runners on, which I'm having ideas about. Alrighty, so don't laugh about this, but this is my idea. I'm going to run a 2 plenum system, and I'm going to run some aluminium tubing. As you can see, they're too long at the moment, but I'm going to have a plenum along here, plenum along here. They're probably going to sit down a bit lower, and I'm going to have each branch of that plenum coming down to one throttle body. That's the plan. I can still get to the nuts to hold the manifold on, so I should be able to take this whole unit off in one go. Yeah, and like I said, it'll be shorter than that. It's a good place to start, and I think what I can even get it done is once these are on where I need to put them, I possibly even think I might even be able to get the rocker cover on and off if I need to, without even taking the manifold off. But wait and see. I mean, it's not a big deal if I have to take the manifold off to do anything, so we'll see how it goes, but that's the plan. I'm just going to plot away at that and see how we go. I'm trying to decide between a 3-inch size plenum, which is quite compact, but it may not have the volume that I need. So to get what I'm getting at, or moving up to a 4-inch style plenum. Looks better, but it might be just physically a bit too big. So I'll do some more research, and they say it's good to have a plenum 1.5 to 2 times the size of the engine capacity, so each bank of that is 1.75, so I need at least a 2 litre plenum for sure. So by the time I branch it down and join it together into a single throttle body, I'll probably get that volume anyway, but we'll see how we go. So that's just a little update of what I'm doing, and hopefully I'll get some more progress on here and mock it up, tack it together, and I think next thing I'll do is put the covers on the motor and actually make sure it still fits in the little car. I've still got the V in the centre of the engine so that I don't have interference issues with the back brace of the car, which we were talking about the other day and just before. And I just want to make sure that when it's in there, the actual rocker covers, it's not the rocker covers, the cam belt covers don't interfere with this section here. I think it was quite tight there, but we'll cross that bridge when I get to it. So yeah, that's all I've got for now. I think I'm going to put this all together. There'll be 3 or 4 days into one little video, and let me know what you think of the idea and see how we go, eh?